The B.S. Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects.
First of all,
this is the B.S. Report with Bill Simmons.
It might be cool, I don't know. And if it's not, I don't care.
The B.S. Report with Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons works for ESPN. He's also named the sports guy, and he writes a comical sports column. He must be a popular dude.
The B.S. Report.
It's got a real dirty sound, like a rusty steak knife cutting through a well-aged steak.
Now.
Here's Bill Simmons.
Welcome to the B.S. Report. A sunny Monday here in Southern California. Week 4 of the NFL season, almost in the books. As always, in the Subway Fresh Take Hotline, a very disgruntled Cowboys fan right now who has been in a room with padded walls for the last 12 to 13 hours. Now he's available to talk to us. Our friend, Cousin Sal, what's happening?
I don't even know what to say anymore. I really don't. I mean, I watch these games, and they're physically and emotionally exhausting. I'm depressed at the end. I'm confused. Every game, you know how it is. I don't even like when we win. Like last week, we beat the Redskins, and I called our mutual friend who works for the Cowboys. I called to yell at him. I said, well, we're a crappy team. And he's like, hey, back off. We won. So I don't see any value in rooting for these Cowboys anymore. Look, I spend half my day, trying to defend Tony Romo as if he's my son, who's been groping the neighbor's daughter. And I'm like, oh, but look what she's wearing. It's ridiculous. And I wish there was like a Bartman to blame. I'm sick of hating the same players. I don't know what to do. I mean, what should I do?
Here's what I would say. It's pretty early, and we have a tendency to overreact through 4 weeks of the season. I went back and read a couple of my old power polls that I wrote, in 2008, 2009, and whoever I had in pole position after 4 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever was never the team that made the Super Bowl. So right. I do think we have a tendency to get carried away. And, the team to me that's jumping out as the team everyone's writing off, and I don't get it, is Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
There's real reasons why they're not playing well right now. But, we saw it last year with the Packers. The Packers we wrote off in early December. We watched that game when what did they lose, 7-3?
Yeah, and Rodgers
to the
went out.
Lions.
Couldn't look more dismal for them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, this is over. We're writing them off. And then 2 months later, they win the Super Bowl. So I'm not ready to write anyone off. I think the thing that's weird about the Dallas situation is the Romo thing has just become like a national phenomenon. People either praising him 1 week or killing him the next week. And it really is a roller coaster. Everybody says roller coaster, but it's the Romo coaster. It really is.
Oh, no. Is that going to be a new thing, the Romo coaster?
The Romo coaster.
I can't take it.
I just came up with it right now. I kind of like it.
I don't know what to say anymore. Obviously, it was his fault, but other things, I blame Garrett, too. Like, good coaches hold on to that lead. Like, why aren't we pounding the ball? I think the Saints have problems closing teams out, too. Like, you couldn't really take your eyes off that Jags game because, there was a part of it. Like, oh, they have this lead, but they might be back. And, I think, there should be specialist coaches. I really do. We have offensive coordinators, we have special teams coaches, we have running backs coaches. We should have a coach that comes in late third, fourth quarter that takes over. It shouldn't be so insulting. Just say, hey, this is how it is. And a guy like Andy Reid who blows leads and Jason Garrett who blows leads, they need a little help towards the end. And bring this guy in, like you've said before, maybe he's a 12-year-old Madden player who knows how to hold on to the lead. But just do it. I'm sick of the emotion involved in this. It's too much. I can't do it anymore.
Philly, I think, should be the Philly fans should be the most upset today because of just how inexplicable their game plan was and the pass-run ratio and all the stuff that we always complain about with Andy Reid, the goal line. It was really almost like a greatest hits Andy Reid game. Yeah. All the stuff that we usually see from him when things go wrong or his teams. And it was all wrapped at the dumb turnovers, all that stuff. Dallas, at least, they're banged up. Romo's playing hurt. Felix Jones is hurt. Dez is playing on one leg. I don't know by late November if you're not running on all cylinders, or at least running on more cylinders.
No, I'll take half a cylinder at this point. It's just very frustrating when you can't close out a game. Really, these Lions, they just stick around forever. Like they go down by 20 and then they're going to beat teams. Like, that's not a good NFL team. And sure,
right.
if we punt one of those times, he throws a terrible interception, we're in better shape. But
well, let's flip this around, Sal. Who feels good about their team today? Because
I'll tell you what, there are two teams at the top that if I look at the schedule, I say, we're not going to beat them. We have to get very, very lucky to beat them. And that's your New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers. And everybody else, I think, is beatable depending on what version of that team you get. Even the Saints, the Ravens looked good last night. I really do feel there are two at the top. And they're about 15 at the bottom. But, yeah, those are the two.
I think if you're a Texans fan, you feel pretty good. I don't think you feel like you're headed to the Super Bowl, but I think you're encouraged by that game. And they really should have won by 20 points. Yeah. It was a 17-10 final, and it should have been 27-10 or 34-10. I thought they dominated that game.
It kept looking like they were scoring more points, and they were called back for some reason. But
right. Yeah, they were. I think if you're a Chargers fan, you're lukewarm. Mm-hmm. I think if you are a Giants fan, you feel pretty good, but not great because you almost lost in Arizona to that it's just not a good Cardinals team. And the Giants really should have lost that game. And then, the Lions, as you said, we were texting this weekend, and you thought at least one of these Lion Bills teams are going to fall this weekend. You were right about the Bills. But the Lions, they've fallen behind now by 3 touchdowns in 2 consecutive games, which is not a good streak. Congratulations to them for coming back, but that's not good to fall behind by 20-plus 2 straight games. I don't think that's a good sign for them going forward.
No, and they have holes on defense. Everyone wants to talk about Dominican Sue and everybody, Van den Bosch and everything, but you could pass against that team. And really, when their best run-stopping linebackers, Bobby Carpenter, a guy who the Cowboys coddled for years, tried to get him on the squad, make the starting lineup, and he couldn't. And we still can't take care of business, so I'm shedding a tear right now thinking about it.
I think the Atlanta fans have to feel terrible about their team because they came within one more first down and a 50-yard field goal losing, and Tavares ate them up in the second half.
They tried their hardest to lose that game,
I'll tell you who should be the third most excited because I don't think Baltimore fans can feel that great either because Flacco in that game yesterday, it was all the old demons coming back. But I think the Niners fans have to be effing fired up. That's a pretty good team. Their defense is good. They were able to come from behind with Alex Smith, which I didn't think they could do. It looks like they have a real coach. He's already had an impact. And in that division, what are we going to do about our Rams bet?
The Rams, it's funny because before I did this, I came on. I'm like, all right, we usually go over top teams, bottom teams. The Rams is the worst team in the league, and that's our big bet. I mean, that's hard to do, to take the worst team. And you say teams get better, teams get worse. It's going to be tough for this team to dig themselves out. And how dare the Niners, like you said, jump out to a 3-1 record here? Everyone's supposed to be 2-2 or 1-3 at this point, or 0-4.
And really could be 4-0. That Cowboys game I thought was a pretty fluky loss, but they have a great front seven. We've seen it, and they, but if Alex Smith is asked to win a game, that's why they're going to be in trouble, I think. The reason I went against them was because I didn't think Harbaugh would have enough time to have this much of an impact because of the lockout. If it had just no lockout, he takes over in April. I would have picked them, but it just was hard for me to believe that a coach could change things that fast. And also the Alex Smith, I picked them to win the division last year, and he was terrible, and but.
Okay, well maybe I'll talk to our fictitious bookie about it. Maybe he'll let us.
Well, we're gonna have to hedge that bet because I broke up with the Rams on Friday. I picked the Redskins for the Super Contest. I was just looking at the Rams. They've been outscored 96-36 in the first 3 games. Mm-hmm. It's you look at them and you go, why is that team better than the Chiefs? Why is that team better than the Colts? They are just as bad as the other terrible teams. And now I think they're clearly number 32 unless the Colts get killed tonight.
Yeah. We don't get anything for 32, right? They still have to win the division.
Well, one good note, we have a bye week. We have 6 teams off this week for week 5, which takes some pressure off for the picks. We have more time to think about them and figure out what teases we want to lose for and all that stuff.
I'll tell you, just looking at it right now, I don't love anything great, but we'll let's hit it. Let's go over it. Week 5. You're ahead 3-1 in our picks contest here. And
hold on. One thing before you start
the
Week 5 lines. Here are the teams who have the bye week this week. Hold on.
Yeah.
I have this written down. Here we go.
I got it. You want me to say?
The Dolphins.
Baltimore, Dallas, Miami, St. Louis, Washington, and Cleveland.
Yeah, so if you look through there, the Dolphins, if you're going to fire your coach, you do it right now.
Oh, yeah.
You do it heading into the bye week. The problem is you don't replace him with Mike Nolan. That doesn't make sense because their defense stinks. Mm-hmm. So it's like you don't promote the defensive coordinator when you have a bad defense. Ravens, nice time for them for the bye week, I think. Maybe they're coming off that Jets win. The Browns, I'm writing off. You got to beat Tennessee at home.
I want them to be tougher. I watch that team every week. I'm like, God, keep this close. Why is Colt McCoy? He makes some athletic plays, and it's just always too late.
Yeah. Cowboys, best possible situation to have a bye week, I think. You get some guys healthy. Redskins, they lose a little momentum.
Well, we come back against New England, at New England. We're not going to win for another 3 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah, but you were banged up. You probably would have lost to just about anybody you're going to play this week. Redskins, they had momentum. I think it hurts them a little. And then the Rams, I don't think anybody needs a bye week more than them. They might need a bye season. Anyway, 13 games this week.
For betting purposes, I don't like this week, and I think it's because Miami, St. Louis, and Cleveland are off. So that's those are teams we like to go against.
Yes.
But all right, so let's take a look at Week 5. Philly at Buffalo.
Philly's having exactly this kind of season I thought they were going to have and didn't totally have the balls to pick it. I picked them to go 10-6 and sneak into the playoffs, and this is everything I thought was going to happen. And
They'll take 10-6 now. They have to go.
10-6 would be 9-3. Yeah. And I think if they lose this game and they go 1-4, they're in some serious trouble because Vic's going to get hurt again. Mm-hmm. The Bills, now you're looking at it. They're very lucky to win that Pats game. They got a lot of deflected interceptions, all that stuff. They really should be 2-2. I had the Eagles as 3-point favorites in Buffalo.
You nailed this one. I had this. I don't know why. I had this as a pick'em. It's 3 exactly. Yeah. But Philly by 3. But I just think I don't know why. I mean, I didn't like Buffalo last week against Cincinnati, but I like them against the Eagles this week.
Well, no. I mean, here's the thing. It was a trap game. That Cincinnati game, and I stared at it. We talked about it like it was the obvious trap game after the we did it game where they beat the Patriots and they're being carried off the field, all that stuff. Now this feels like everyone's counting us out. No, really, we're a little better than that game, right? Yeah. You just look at this and you think the Eagles are going to kill them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think their defense is trouble, the Eagles. I really do. I mean, we watch Michael Vick run around, and that's nice. He throws the long bombs. But their defense, this could be a tough game they're walking into here against Buffalo. I don't think enough was made out of, the Eagles this year made their offensive line coach the defensive coordinator. It's a questionable move. Yeah. It seems to get no attention. Like if some soccer mom wrote a funny tweet and you made her editor-in-chief of Grantland. It doesn't... Well, why aren't people making a big deal out of this? And they're giving up 25 points to San Francisco. They should be better. Yeah.
Well, they also lost Trent Cole yesterday for at least a couple of weeks. Who, if you watched him play, was clearly their dominant guy. And I think that's going to have some ramifications. Vic had a great game yesterday, and they lost, which should make you nervous if you're an Eagles fan. I mean, I know the run-pass ratio was kind of screwed up, but
yeah. You know what else should make them nervous? Ronnie Brown took the 49ers on the money line. What the hell? Really, what the hell was that play?
I don't know. It was. We were talking about it you just cut him right there. You just send him to the locker room, make him take off his pads.
That was a last play of the game kind of play where I can't
terrible.
Go down here.
Yeah, it was like when they're lateraling back and forth on the last play. Yeah,
except he's on the goal line. All right, New Orleans at Carolina. I like this game.
It's a good one. You're thinking possible upset pick here. I think this is clearly 7. I'm going to nail that exact. Saints by 7.
All right. I thought it was in the Vegas zone. I said 5. It's 5.5. So,
ooh.
I get that one, and we're tied now.
Because Cam now has 2 backdoor covers in 4 games. Vegas is terrified of him now.
Well, I also think it's like we just talked about. The Saints have trouble putting teams away, and Carolina refuses to go away. So it's a great matchup. It really is. And we had the Panthers on some crazy theoretical parlay, and I know it was a big deal that they backdoor covered it, but we should have won yesterday.
It was a great pick.
Touchdown call back. That was it.
We had the Pats, the Packers. And who was the other one? The Buccaneers?
No. I think we won everything. Let me see. I have it written down here. I have to burn this
Pats,
stuff.
Packers, and it was somebody else who was... Oh, the Chargers. No. Or somebody
we
like
had
that.
the Packers
Saints.
money line, the Saints money line, the Patriots money line, and the Panthers money line.
And it was a 6-1 pull.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a great bet, and the Panthers were right in that game. It's interesting, though, when they were down... I think they're down 12 with 2 minutes left. They kick off to the Panthers. I felt totally confident Cam was going to come down for the cover. It really did. Yeah, I would have bet anything. I would have doubled my bet at that point for Panthers +6 or whatever they were getting.
Right.
But the Vegas zone for that. So Vegas is basically saying we don't totally trust the Saints, and we're a little bit more afraid of the Panthers than maybe we think. I still think that line climbs to 7.
Well, what'd they give Jacksonville? They only gave them 7.5 on the road. Carolina's better than them.
True. Yeah, that's a pretty good point, actually. But they won that game by 13, so maybe that line was too low.
Gonna be interesting. Vegas. I like that. We'll be watching. Oakland and Houston. Not sold on Houston. I know. We just talked about it.
Yeah, I'm not
they beat Indy with no quarterback. Pittsburgh down 2 offensive linemen. Miami, all sorts of problems. I mean, I know you can only beat who you play, but...
The Raiders seem to me like a matchup team.
Yeah.
Against the Jets was a great matchup for them. Against the Pats, terrible matchup. Texans, I'm not sure. I have this Texans by 6.5.
You should have said 7. That's what I said, and it's exactly on 7. I think I'm taking this as the upset. I think the Raiders...
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it matters where they play. I think they can run on this Houston team. I like them.
The only thing I would say is Brady threw on the Raiders pretty easily. The Raiders are a mess in the back 4.
Oh, you can't count any. You got to throw every Brady game out.
I'm just saying, they were doing whatever they wanted pass-wise, and the Texans, if Andre Johnson's playing, I think they're going to be able to throw on them.
Well, maybe.
You're not backing me?
You drop the lowest quiz grade when you play the Patriots. I mean, Welker runs around for the 3 hours. It's like having a little son that you can't chase for 3.5 hours. You might as well call nannies because you're not going to keep up with them.
I remember in our fantasy auction, Welker got brought up late. People were kind of out of money at that point, or like getting close, and it was in the 11, 12, 13 range, and then. Did
you get him?
No, I had no money left, and I went to like 16. It was the highest I could go, and then it was you and Cohurst. Cohurst didn't pay, but he paid for like 19 for him, and all of us kind of looked at each other like, "Oh man, that was a steal. That's bad." And I lost him yesterday.
Yep,
actually I lost because I started Matthew Stafford over Michael Vick yesterday, which was a 16-point swing. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Oh, I would have talked you out of that. That's what I mean.
Really?
Stafford he only. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Look, if you look at the team that's down 27 points, he should have had more than 240 yards, right? Is that what Stafford ended up with?
Yeah, but they got a couple of the interception things.
Yeah.
The problem with Vic is like when he's banged up and you start him, like because that's what happened to me last week. He killed me last week.
I know. Well, the way you pay a ton for him, though, right? That's what's going to.
I didn't pay that much. I only paid $39 for him.
That was it? Oh.
Yeah, he wasn't one of the top 10 most expensive guys in our league.
Interesting.
The move was to get Brady, the bar owls in our league. Well, we're talking about our fantasy league now. Nobody cares. But Brady's like boring at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was like more fun to spend money on Michael Vick, or more fun to spend money on Ray Rice. And meanwhile, Brady's just sitting there he's going to have his typical 4,500 yard, 45 touchdown season. It's like boring.
Yeah. Well, see if you can get Brady for Vick. It could work.
I'm going to say that's not going to be on the table.
Kansas City at Indianapolis. Exciting, Bill. 2 division winners squaring off. Can't wait.
It's a rematch of. Oh no, they didn't play last year. They played.
No.
Chiefs Colts. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think the Chiefs are favored by 2.5.
You went the wrong way. I said the Colts by 3, and it's Colts by 2. So
I like the Chiefs. I don't think they're that bad. They played 2 good games in a row. It's now swung too far the other way. Yeah, they almost beat the Chargers, and they almost won this, and they did win this week. They
don't score, though. I know they score. I mean, the Vikings ought to be ashamed of themselves, giving up, 22 to the Chiefs?
Good special teams, though. The kicker won the game for them yesterday.
So you don't put them in the bottom 3 teams?
No.
Who are your bottom 3?
Colts, Rams.
Dolphins.
I would have the Chiefs, and I might even put Cardinal. I would put them on a level with the Cardinals.
Well, what about the Vikings?
Oh, yeah, Vikings are in the bottom. Yeah, that's my bottom 4, the Vikes. The Vikings they just can't throw. It's the rare combination of terrible receivers and a bad quarterback. And it's really it's just the 8-man line against Peterson. He really must regret that contract extension.
Yeah, I'm thinking, how annoyed must he be? I mean, these are all winnable games. They were winning in all 4 games, right?
If you're Peterson, do you fake the injury so they can try to get Andrew Luck?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Like about week 7, do you fake the sprained MCL?
What did they take Ponder in? Was that that was an early? Did they still?
Ponder was the 12th pick. Yeah, but Andrew Luck's better than Ponder.
Yeah, but you don't want to keep
trade Ponder.
First-round picks on. They have to put Ponder in eventually.
I'd be shocked if Ponder didn't play this week.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you're 0-4. You're 4 games back in your division, and it's going to take 10 wins to win the wild card, or to get one of the 2 wild cards. You are not making the playoffs if you're the Minnesota Vikings.
All right, well, let's go right to that game, Arizona at Minnesota.
I
mean, here's the thing, really. It's like if you want to give McNabb confidence, you play this game. I think they'll probably win. But if it's also a great game to start Ponder up.
It's a great point. Well, because if you start Ponder and he wins, you get double confidence.
Yeah,
now he's on the board with a win, but we don't know if he's going to get.
I would not want to be Leslie Frazier this week. I never.
I wouldn't want to be him any week. Vikings by 3. I have for this.
We both said 3. That's what it is.
Yeah,
3.
I think they're dead even.
Yeah. That Arizona team could not. They were loving blowing that game. Insane.
I don't know if the Kevin Cobb thing, if he's not good, or if it's just really hard to take over when you're a young QB. All of a sudden you're on a new team and you have 8 weeks to basically meet everybody and learn the offense. But that team doesn't seem right.
Yeah. I'm not taking, I know the Niners proved me wrong last week, but I'm done taking NFC West teams on the road for a while. Let's see how that holds up. Cincinnati at Jacksonville.
Wow, bad games this week.
Yeah.
I don't like this game.
Yeah, it's true.
Either.
It's like those 3 bad teams we listed have byes, and then 2 more are playing each other here.
Yeah. I was mad because I kind of secretly liked the Bengals as the good bad team, and I gave up on them, and then they won yesterday. I'm going to say Bengals by 3.
Bengals by 3.
Bengals by 3 at Jacksonville. Yes.
Whoa! I said Jacksonville by 3, and it's 2.5.
I am going to pick the Bengals in the Super Contest.
Really?
And bet on them. Yes.
Oh, I don't know about that. Gabbert's
the Jaguars are terrible.
Is a little more confident maybe at home now.
Bengals have a good defense. Bengals have a good defense. I think they might have a top 4 defense.
No, they do. They do. But,
I don't think it's literally a top 4 defense, but I think statistically it's in the top 4.
Let me look at it.
Figuratively, right. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, I'm up 5-2. Seattle at Giants.
You needed this. I was up 3-1. You needed an upset week. Your guys had a lot to play for. What was this one?
I think you're tanking it for me, just because you're a good pal.
I would never do that. What's this game?
Seattle at the Giants.
Ooh.
A free suicide pick for everybody.
Yeah, I can't. I guess it is. God, I don't want to make the Giants double-digit favorites, but I'm going to say Giants by 10.
You got it. I said 10.5. It's exactly 10.
I don't feel good
three
about
wins,
it.
And your 3 wins you picked right on. So.
I don't feel good about it, but I'm trying to think of it. I was trying to think of how many points it would take for me to take Tavares to Giant Stadium, and I think it's like 11.5. I'd have to at least start thinking about 11.5.
It is such a different game for them when they go on the road. I mean, I've never seen a team have such a big home field advantage when they don't really even win at home. It's just they'll play well. Stay with it.
It really. Well, we went there because remember Jimmy had that Monday Night Football thing that time, not the one that he got in trouble for, but the first one, and it really was loud. It was legitimate loud.
That's a great.
It's not
great home field advantage. It really is.
Yeah, it is deafening. And this was like a random Monday night game. They were whooping on somebody, and it was like you couldn't talk to the person next to you.
It was snowing. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot going on. Yeah, I just and the Giants play horribly and win. I mean, they should teach a clinic right now. I don't know how they get it done. I don't know how they got the entire NFC West on the first third of their schedule either.
Well, and also they have 3 straight home games here.
Yeah. They could be 5-1. I was looking at this mess with them.
They could be 6-1.
Yeah, that's right. They have a bye. Oh no. They have
6-1 bye week, and then they play the Pats.
Right.
In New England. Yeah.
All right. Tennessee at Pittsburgh. There's no line on this game because Roethlisberger's walking in a boot, but
right.
I mean, so we won't count it. But I'd say Pittsburgh would be 4 if he played.
Really?
Do you think it would be higher?
Yeah, I think it would be Steelers by 6. And I think he's going to play because he's a tough bastard. He really is. I don't see a broken left foot knocking him out.
All right, I'll jot that down. So you think Pittsburgh sort of makes their move here?
No, I don't know when their move's going to come. I think they're going to linger. I could even see them losing this game or coming close. I think Tennessee, as long as Hasselbeck's going to be healthy, I think we have to take them seriously as a borderline playoff team.
Yeah.
He's going to get hurt, though. One of these weeks he's going to get hit in the second quarter, and it's going to fall apart, and they're going to go in the tank. But it hasn't happened yet.
Well, it helps that, Chris Johnson's starting to hit his stride. He had over 100 yards. And just for this game, the Steelers can't stop the run at all, whether it's Joseph Adai or Arian Foster yesterday. That's the one thing you could do now, run on the Steelers for some reason.
The Hasselbeck thing, like statistically, he's been one of the best guys this year. I think I've watched some of their games. Like it really seems like he's been a leader. I think he's playing great. It's a better offense for him. Makes you think there's a few teams out there that could have used him. Didn't go for him. Like Minnesota,
he doesn't get enough credit because Chris Johnson didn't start the year, and when he did, he was useless in the first few games. So he had that obstacle in front of him. Kenny Britt is now out. It's the best receiver, and he's getting it done. He's still getting it done.
That's when I thought it was going to be over for them when they lost Kenny Britt. Because it's just all right, who do they? At that point, you're just playing a 9-man line against Johnson, and Hasselbeck just continues to do it.
I'm rooting for them over the Texans to win that division. Can the South possibly get the second wild card?
Yeah, if the Jets go in the tank, why not?
One of the AFC East teams will get a wild card, I think, and then.
Well, I don't know if that's a guarantee though. Why is that a guarantee?
I'm talking about the Bills. I don't know.
Nah, the Bills are going to end up at 7-9 or 8-8. Sorry, Joe Meade, but I
have them sitting at 9-7 right now.
Yeah, it'll be in that 7-9, 8-8, 9-7 range. But
why don't we compromise and say 9-8 so we can move on? No.
Well, explain to me this Jets thing. So they lose their starting center, and I have to hear for 4 straight quarters about how it's ruined their season, and Chris Collinsworth is apologizing left and right for how bad their line is. The Pats lost Dan Coppin two weeks ago.
And Brady still doesn't get
also
caught.
An All-Pro, haven't missed a beat. And I can't remember if it's Coppin or Copen because it's one of those mispronunciation things that part of my Alzheimer's I'm starting to forget. But
literally Copen, I think. Yeah.
I think it is Copen. 2 weeks ago they lose him and they don't miss a beat and nobody's making excuses. Like you can't say that a center is this important and then on another team it's had no importance at all. So I don't know. It feels like an excuse to me.
No, I think it's Collinsworth. They have a lot of time to fill in that game, and they need storylines.
I mean, It's not great not having your center against the Ravens, but it shouldn't be the excuse for why he stunk. Sanchez was terrible in that game.
Awful.
And, he threw horrible passes. He had terrible judgment. And by the fourth quarter, they gave up on him. Yeah. They were down. It was like 4th and 3 in their own 30 with 7 minutes to go. They're down, 3 scores, and they punted. It was like 4th and 3 or 4th and 5, something like that. And they punted. It was like they just wanted to get back in the locker room and get away from that game.
Yeah, they were bad. That was an ugly game. First of all, it took forever.
It was awful.
I want to do stuff here. How is there still 6 minutes left in the first quarter? And this is what I mean. People now I'm going to get letters or whatever, but Tony Romo would take the Ravens to the AFC Championship game. I said it. Flacco, 19 for 40, whatever he is. They're up by 20 points. Are you kidding me? They give this guy no pressure, this Flacco.
He was awful. Flacco's, and it was a situation where it became clear that they were just like, hey, Joe, you're not going to throw the ball now for about 10 plays here.
Yeah, we've seen it enough during the day.
Keep paying it off.
Low leads. Yeah. All right, late afternoon games. There are only 3. Tampa Bay at San Francisco.
Ooh, that's a very intriguing game.
This might be the game of the day. Otherwise,
I'm going to hit this exact, Sal.
Go ahead.
49ers by 3.
No. You'd still get it, though. I said Tampa by 1, and it's 49ers by 1.5.
Oh.
You love the Niners.
I think that goes to 3.
You love them.
I think they do. There's things they do well. And the Braylon Edwards thing, they actually have 2 receivers who can get open a tiny bit now, which they didn't always have, and Davis can get open, and their running game's pretty good. Their defense is pretty good. They're pretty good. It's a pretty good team.
I have to see the Bucs again tonight, and I hate taking San Francisco at home, but I will caution people. This is an east to west game, right? Tampa's going east to west on a short week, so maybe stay away from Josh Freeman's Bucs. I like the ESPN promo, Gruden. You guys are running. It's he says Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis are coming for Josh Freeman, and he'd better have a plan. All right, here's our plan. We're going to let Curtis Painter self-destruct in the first quarter, and then we're going to run the rest of the way. So Freeney and Mathis have nothing to do with the game.
Our plan is to be up 20-0 in the second quarter.
Yeah, right. All right.
And then repeatedly hand off.
You have 4. I have 5. 4 more games. San Diego at Denver.
Ooh, I had some trouble with this one. I don't know what Vegas thinks of the Chargers anymore, whether they actually respect them or not. And they really shouldn't respect them. Chargers by 6.5.
That's exactly what I said, and it's only 4.5.
Not surprising.
That's too low. Come on.
It's too low.
That should be higher.
I don't understand it. We had the Broncos on at one of the TVs yesterday, and I don't understand why you wouldn't use Tebow in packages. It's really weird to me. Just make defenses plan for him. At least make defenses at least think they're running Tebow's in now. They're going to run the 3-down series with him, or to just not use him seems spiteful. It does.
That's exactly the word I was going to use. It does seem like it's just I'll show the fans we're going to get this right somehow, but it doesn't ever work out. Yeah,
San Francisco.
They're not going to win that game. Just put them in there from time to time.
San Francisco's brought their rookie in a couple times, Kaepernick, whatever his name is. And it's not like he's going to take Alex Smith's job. They're just trying to keep the defense guessing. And it is interesting when they do it.
Yeah.
I never understand why teams – you don't do it if you have Tom Brady, obviously. But keep defenses on your toes. On their toes. Make them in practice on Wednesday think about, and if Tebow comes in, we have to spend an hour on that.
I agree. And they could do this against San Diego. They have trouble on the road.
Yeah.
San Diego's going to start heating up, everybody. This is 5 games in. This is where they traditionally step on the gas a little. I didn't get to see much of them because the Miami-San Diego game was blacked out because the league has to punish millions of fans who have no chance to buy an available ticket at Qualcomm. But it looked like they took care of business. But even when they cover, it doesn't seem too impressive, right?
So what happens? Do they just, that game, there's no record of that game video-wise? There's no telecast at all?
No, there's got to be. Where would it be? Wait, was it, so like would it be, I don't know, is it blacked out in Miami too?
I don't know. I think it's weird that to pay for the DirecTV package and not get every game, regardless of whether there's a blackout or not. Or maybe it's like a 90 miles thing. Yeah.
But they have announcers, and they're obviously highlights, right? I don't know where
they
it was
must.
there.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah. All right, last game is Sunday afternoon, Jets at Patriots. Here you go. Here's your vengeance game. Your revenge game.
Catching them at a nice time. The only thing is, it doesn't really matter that their offensive line is in shambles because we have no pass rush.
Right.
So for the Jets, this is actually a good team for them to play. But they just don't look like the same team. And everybody was saying that they spent so much money in the uncapped year last year, and they had to make some hard cuts to get back down to a reasonable number, and they just don't look the same.
Well, it's funny. It's like I took them to make it to the Super Bowl this year, and it's a dumb pick because if you look at how lucky they got in close games, I mean, beating Cleveland in overtime, I remember every week we're like, how are they doing this? And it's like when you pick over-unders for baseball teams, you look at how they were in one-run games, and like if they were bad, like, all right, maybe they could turn it around. This is going the other way, I think.
Yeah. I had trouble with this one. I have the Pats by 7.
You just edged me out. I had 6.5, and it's all the way up to 9.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. And we are tied, my friend. Yeah, it's 9.
Ooh.
Well, listen, they owe them, first of all. They owe them for the playoffs. They're better. They may be much better. And you have a 750-pound lineman who leads more secondaries in interceptions,
I know.
What do you need to know here?
It was shades of Billy Bob in Varsity Blues yesterday.
Yeah.
It was stiff-arming guys. Vince Wilfork, gotta love him. We lost Mayo, though.
What's that?
We lost Mayo. We only really have 2 good defensive players, and he's one of them, and now he's not on the roster.
But
he's out for
this
a few
is
weeks.
it, the Patriots. They're going to score 30, 35, 40 points, and the Jets are going to have to stay with that, right?
I'm a little upset at Belichick. Our safeties are just horrible. Like, I don't understand how you could just completely discount the safety position. We had a guy, Sergio Brown, take an angle on a pass yesterday where he either could have destroyed the receiver or picked off the pass or whatever, and instead he just put his shoulder down and missed everything. It's really bad. Like, eventually somebody's going to take advantage of it, but I don't know if it's going to be Mark Sanchez.
I think it was a blowout. I think it's like 40-21, and maybe in January the Jets get their stuff together. Maybe they're around, but the Patriots are mad.
Well, they're going to have to throw the ball, and it doesn't seem like the plaques for Braylon Edwards exchange hasn't really paid off. It doesn't seem like I have Holmes on my West Coast fantasy team. He doesn't get open, or they can't get him the ball, or they're taking him out, or something's going on. It just seems like it's really hard for them to throw.
Yep. Sunday night, Green Bay at Atlanta, another playoff rematch.
I love the Packers in this game. I think Atlanta sucks. Better. Atlanta sucks. Not
what do you have
them off. I have Packers 3.5.
All right, wow. I had 3.5 also, and it's 4. So we're tied going into the last one.
And I'm going to nail the last one.
You probably are. I should have thought about it longer. Should have thought about it. Monday night, Chicago at Detroit.
Yes. Your first instinct is to say division game, it's going to be close, maybe Lions by 6. But I think people are on this Lions thing. I'm going to say Lions 7.5.
Oh! I said Lions 5, and it's Lions 6.
Oh, no!
Sal pulls it out.
Oh, by a half point. Oh, I could have finished you off. Oh.
Awesome.
Lions by 6, huh?
My week. Thank you. Yeah, and you're right. It'll probably go up. But now, have they been favored by this much before? Let's see.
I don't know. Are they?
I mean, we're scoffing at the 6, but it's a lot for Detroit.
Oh, you're saying that even that's too much for a Lions team?
I'm sorry. Yeah, they were favored by 9 over Kansas City. They murdered them. Yeah. I don't know what to think. I mean, like we saw that there's a lot of good things about the Lions, a lot of bad things, and the Bears seem to be all punt returns, and I don't know if for some reason the line feels like blocking, Forte could get through. But
the one thing I would say about the Bears is we thought that the return game would just be obsolete this year. And that was one of the reasons why people picked against them and the Chiefs, and just like returns aren't going to matter. And it seems like returns matter more than ever. And teams are taking it out from 8 yards into the end zone. And
because you don't want to start from the 20. It's a lousy proposition.
Right. And I don't think it's hurt them at all. If anything, it feels like they've gained strength with the return game.
Yeah. Well, he has like the best ever.
And also, Forte's having a really good season. I just think he's one of, when you're watching like the various games all at once, he's one of the guys that jumps out.
Well,
that's a possible upset pick.
Boy, but that's, I mean, the Bears, I guess they were okay yesterday. I think the Panthers had 1 sack, but aren't they averaging 5 sacks a game before yesterday? And
True.
These guys are going to come at them. Let me just say something about this sack machine, Dominican Sue, and the rest of the NFL hotheads who were throwing temper tantrums on the sideline. He kicked a garbage can yesterday. I don't know if you saw him.
Yep.
You guys, for the next month, are dressed head to toe in hot pink. So just remember that when you're kicking garbage cans and throwing Gatorade bottles. It looks silly.
What's our upset special?
I'm going Panthers. Oh, wait. Do I like the Panthers or the Raiders? I'm going Panthers. That's fun to root for. Panthers over Saints.
Panthers over Saints to win outright.
To win. The Saints will win that division, but for this week, I like the Panthers. What do you like?
Titans.
With Roethlisberger playing.
With or without, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but I mean, I just think he'll play. I think he's a tough dude. I don't think he's going to be on the sidelines with a broken foot and a sad look on his face. Like he'll just be out there limping around.
They could run on them.
It is a little bit like when Manning disappeared from the Colts and they just fell apart. And everybody's like, wow, Manning does so much for that team. I think you make the same case for Roethlisberger and the Steelers because they never seem to have a good offensive line. And he always is scrambling around and buying time and buying those extra 2 seconds. And now their line's so bad he can barely even do that. Like he's just getting hit by 4 guys at the same time.
Yeah, I think maybe the coaching staff got used to the fact, like, we always play 2 offensive linemen down. Ben'll figure it out. And Ben's like, I've had enough.
Ben's like, hey, just give me one guy. Can I go 1 for 5 with blockers? Anybody?
Get me the boot. I'm done.
But he seriously had a couple where it was like out of a video game. Where it was just 4 guys hitting him from different angles at the same time.
Yeah, and now it's like his own guys are on the turf. So usually he used to be able to scramble away. Now he's got to like hurdle his own guys, and like you could feel bad for that guy. I do.
Well, anyway.
Let me just say this. This podcast was supposed to be a celebration of your Red Sox meltdown, and the Cowboys didn't allow for that. And I think you must have pocket dialed me. It was like early Thursday morning, like Wednesday night. The Red Sox blew it, and it was like Thursday at 5 a.m. I think you drunk pocket dialed me.
I did.
You took your dog Rufus for a walk. You were all out of breath. Let me see if I could pull that up. Hold on a second. You left a message.
I don't remember this.
What a night, Rufus. That poo-poo head Papelbon can't close out the crap-ball Orioles. It breaks my heart. That other poo-poo head Evan Longoria hits a 95-foot home run. He breaks my heart, too. My night's ruined by a collection of poo-poo heads. And that's why I'm taking you for a walk, Rufus. And we'll travel all the way to Timbuktu if we have to. Oh, boy, we've been going a while now, coming up on Las Vegas, city of brotherly love. Look, there's the world's biggest thermometer. I wonder if it's ever taken the temperature of the world's biggest a-hole, Bucky Bleepin' Showalter. Rufus, if we die here in the desert from heat exhaustion combined with overserving myself, Bloody Marys and Quaaludes, I want you to know you've always been my number one love. And sure, I talk about Josh Freeman. He'll always be my Joshy-washy twinkle toes pudding pop sponge cake. But Rufus, you've been with me through thick and thin, and I'll admit something right now. Your gentle touch takes me places I've never been. And sometimes I want to take my manhood and... Oh, wait. Look who it is. It's Chipper Jones walking his French poodle. Long night for him, too. Hey, Chip, how's it hanging? What's going on? Hey, what? Rufus, hey, get off him. boy, heel dog, Chipper, why are you humping my dog's leg? Why are you doing that? What?
Wow.
That was it. Oh, wait. No, I got to shut the barking off. Yeah.
Sound effects for that one. That was pretty, really went to another level.
The production levels, it would spare no expense here.
The best part was that you couldn't come up with an Atlanta Braves fan to fit the scenario, so you had to use a player because nobody knows an Atlanta fan.
I Googled and I saw Ludacris at a concert at Atlanta Stadium, and I was like, it's a little bit of a stretch. Let me just use Chipper Jones. There you go.
Well, I was able to watch the Red Sox season collapse with our friend Daniel, which really was the only silver lining of the night, and he became a hero to millions with his drinking and his caustic remarks, and it was really awesome. He had 2 beers and then immediately asked where the Grey Goose was, and then turned the house upside down looking for it.
He was numbing himself, and you wrote about it, but he asked me earlier in the day, what are the Red Sox odds to win the World Series? I was like, are you kidding me? What are you talking about?
He told me that. He raised his eyebrows like it was like a seductive proposition to bet on the Red Sox to win the World Series 10-1. I'm like, are you crazy?
This is a steal, yeah.
We're going to win 11 playoff games with this crap team?
I don't look at it as, I know you've talked about it at length. I don't look at this as bad a collapse, even though the numbers suggest it, whatever. But 78, you're that much closer to winning the World Series if you win that Bucky Dent game and whatever, 51 Giants and all that. You were going to be a wild card team, and you had rounds and rounds to go before you're going to make it. So
it was actually a little bit like the Bruins 2 years ago when they blew the 3-0 lead to Philly, but they were so banged up at that point. It wasn't like they lost the Stanley Cup out of it. I think 2003 was 100 times worse for a variety of reasons, but mostly it really felt like, because we didn't know Florida was as good as it was at the time, it felt like if you won that game, you win the World Series, and Boone hits the homer, and it was the World Series went out the window. This was like, the only thing that sucked was just not having your team in the playoffs, It was just, you're watching Tampa Bay play Texas, just
now what are you going to do? Well, now I guess you just root for the Rays to sweep the Yankees. We have a nice theoretical parlay going, right? It's still alive.
We have a good one.
We had the Packers on it just to win, and then we have all these teams I think are 1-1. What do we have? The Tigers.
The Brewers are 2-0. We had the Tigers, the Rays, the Cardinals, and the Brewers.
That's right.
With
Tigers,
the Packers,
Rays,
it was 13-1.
Yep. We're going to win that.
It's weird. The rain delay at first seemed like it was this dramatic screw job for the Tigers, and now they have Verlander at home in Game 3. Like, it just feels like there's no way they lose that game. Of course,
they had to win one in Yankee Stadium. Yeah, they have now. Maybe he should just pitch a couple innings today and then go Game 5.
What do you mean?
Verlander. I don't know.
Isn't he starting Game 3?
What's that? No, you're right. No, they're playing Game 3 today, and he's pitching. But I like to see him go 3 games. I don't know how.
See, I don't know who wins the World Series. Like, I watch Philly, and it just, you have these great starters, and it's such a help in the regular season, but in the playoffs, when everything slows down, and it's so hard for these guys to get into the 7th and 8th inning, that the pitch counts go up, and it's not as big of an advantage as it feels like it should be.
I know it's not going to be fun for you, but I don't know. I like the Rays. I like the Rays to come out of the American League.
I mean, the Matt Moore wild card.
Yeah.
It was like they dropped the atom bomb. Game 1, he shut out. And this guy was in the minors all year, and they didn't bring him up because they didn't think they were going to be in it. But, man.
That's a huge bonus, and there's usually a guy like that every
totally.
This year. Yeah.
Pretty good. It feels like we're headed toward a good – like, if we had Phillies Brewers, that's a win. If Cardinals Brewers is a win because those two teams hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rays Yankees or Rays Tigers, that would be fun. The only one I'm not excited to see in there is the Rangers.
And it's weird because they have most potential to explode offensively, so they could be fun to watch. But, I don't want to see them in there either.
Something about them. I don't know what it is, but it felt like we experienced them last year. Now I'm ready for other teams. But
same with the Dodgers.
Cousin Sal, is always a pleasure. Talk to you.
All right, let me just say, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Jane Lynch tonight, Blink-182 later in the week, Evangeline Lilly, Dancing with the Stars cast-off, Will Arnett, Antonio Banderas, Jane's Addiction, and my Grantland blog every Thursday with NFL propositions. Big winner this week. I had the Pats over 30 points and the Bills under 23 points. So
good job by you, Sal.
Good job, Billy.
So I get to sign off. Whoa.
Thank you for downloading the B.S Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Pod Center at ESPNradio.com.
Peace out.